to go.
Welcome, everybody, to the January 19th edition of the Annapolis Planning Commission. Kimberly, can we please have the roll call?
Mr. Klein,
Present.
Mr. Waldman,
Present.
Ms. Rubio Dorsey,
Present.
Ms. Butler,
Present. She's present.
Mr. Sale,
Here.
Mr. Imes,
Present.
and Mr. Spakunutis.
Here.
We have 7 members.
Great, thank you. Full house. All righty, so we have, let me share the agenda. We have a fairly light agenda, just some pieces of administrative business in this meeting. So we had the roll call. First order of business is the approval of minutes from January 5th. Kimberly had sent those around, and hopefully everybody's had a chance to review them. Could I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
I'll second.
And for discussion, does anybody want me to show those, or has everybody had a chance to review?
I just want to make sure that the vote is correct on that B1 restaurant legislation.
Okay, you want me to share? You want me to
Do
share
you have a
that?
second?
Yep. Okay. So for the sorry. Okay, for the that's 01122, and the vote was 6-0.
Okay, and further up, it's correct. Okay,
Yeah, I mean there was one vote that didn't pass. That was 1-5, and then something else that was withdrawn, and then the final vote was 6-0.
okay,
Okay.
great. Very good, very good, Miss Consoli.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you very much. So all in favor of accepting these minutes as written, say aye.
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 Any nays? Or abstentions?
I abstain. I wasn't here for the
Great,
meeting.
thanks. Okay, great. All righty, so those minutes are approved. Okay, next orders of business, which are the two substantive things for tonight, are adoption of recommendations from our last meeting on the two zoning text amendments, food service standards, and 01122, and parking fee in lieu 04922. So first is 01122 food service standards. Let me share that, and that was prepared by Teresa, and she sent those around, and let's see, okay. All right, so I think the way to do this is we've all had a chance to look at these, so I think the best way to do it would be to entertain a motion to accept. And then we'll get to discussion, and we can make any edits in discussion. So I think this is pretty.
I'll make a motion to accept the findings of 01122.
And I'll second that. Okay, so now we have into discussion here. So we've had a chance to look at those for a day or so. And does anybody have any discussion on these or suggested edits?
Great.
Ms.
Okay,
Butler
well-
provided a minor typo edit on the last paragraph of the first page. I'm not sure if
Yep.
that's been updated, third sentence. Yeah, that's been removed.
Yeah,
so.
in the version I have here, I just accepted the track change there. Yep, so that's that. So,
Miss Rubio Dorsey, did you get from me some simply grammatical editorial edits? Apparently not. Okay.
Apologies, I may have missed those.
I think if they're just, stylistic or grammatical,
The date at the top was one, that was it.
I certainly would have no issue with, making those changes after we approve these.
It's well done.
Yeah.
I hadn't done findings in a while, and I was trying to use the old document, but then I changed mine to match hers, because I didn't know if we'd changed format, how we do findings on the letterhead or not.
Yeah, and I think, one thing that I need to check with Jackie on is, these end up with just, as written now, it just says my name, but I think typically we would list all the commissioners and then sign for everybody with their approval. But let me check with Jackie on that issue.
Yeah, we would usually get a findings shell with the staff stuff at the top already sent to us after the meeting.
Yeah.
And
So
so I use one of the old ones and I changed it to this, so I could change it back.
Okay. Well, I think we'll just, I'll talk to Jackie, and if she wants to send me
So,
either. Oh, you here, Jackie?
yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I just got home.
Okay.
So I think since the pandemic started, since we don't meet in person, I think the way we've done the last couple of them is that we have not actually, because these are just recommendations, we haven't actually had you come in to sign them. We can do that, but we could just change it to, rather than sign, to say approved out, and then list you and all approved, because it's approved, and then just list all of the members of the commission under that. But if you want to arrange to come in and sign them, we can also do that way. I think it's more important when you're doing approving something as opposed to making a recommendation. So,
Yeah, I don't feel the need to actually. come
right,
and
in the
sign it, but,
interest of expediency. But the other thing that I can do is, Kim can do, is we can send all of you letterhead, the planning commission letterhead. So when you draft them, you can actually just put them on the letterhead to start with, if you all would like us to do that.
Yeah, if you have a template.
Because that
and-
also, right, there's a template for the letterhead, and then that reduces another step that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, if you would,
the whole
if you
process.
would do that,
yes,
please.
sure,
and then-
happy to do that.
Okay, and then we
But
can
if
take
you approve these
two.
tonight, tomorrow I will just go in and put them on letterhead and change the date
Okay.
at the beginning, and change, and if you don't have any other edits. If you have other edits, we'll have to.
Yeah,
figure-
well, thank you for offering to do that.
Somebody
We'll-
has the original of this document.
Yeah,
and can
we'll,
make the
yeah, we'll
edits.
send,
Okay.
we'll send you the text if you wouldn't mind putting those into
Right,
the
no
proper
problem.
letterhead and listing all of the commissioners' names. That would be great.
Right. I think that's good for them to see, for the city council to see that,
Yeah.
to be reminded that you're a group.
Yeah,
that
okay,
has
thanks.
opinions.
All right, we will send you, when we're done
Okay.
tonight, we'll send
Sure.
you the text. Okay, so I think we're at the point, again, on the edits, if they're, Bob, if you had some just stylistic things, and unless anybody else has any issues with that, having Teresa sort of incorporate those after the fact is okay with me. Everybody else all right with that?
Mm.
Okay. So let's take a vote on this. All in favor of these recommendations as written, plus any minor stylistic changes, say aye.
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 Any nays? Or abstentions? I think perhaps, Tom, are you going to abstain on these, given you weren't at the,
I watched the meeting, I read them. It's up to you. I mean, I don't know how it works.
oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay, no,
yeah.
if you've watched the meeting on YouTube, that's fine. Are you voting aye?
Aye.
Yeah, okay, great. So we're unanimous on this. Great, thank you. All right, we will send you this text, Jackie. It'll probably come from Teresa. Okay, next order is 4922, which is fee in lieu of parking requirements. And he's sharing his, so why don't you take us through these, Ben?
Okay, my apologies for sending these out later rather than earlier, and go ahead and let you just read it. It's only a page and a half, should be a quick read. Note that Alex added this section right here from the section I'd sent out an hour and a half ago. And this has been modified to his insertion. And Alex, we changed the text to what we were talking about, if you agree with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm good with that. You can remove my comment then.
I don't think new construction needs to be capitalized. I'm not sure recommended upon what that means. There's a major contradiction which we recommended in June. I don't know what the upon is. Or that we commented on in June?
Yeah, there's a better way to say that. You're correct. That's kind of poor English. Which we commented upon.
Yeah. In the ordinance.
Or it's reflected in our June recommendations or something like that.
Which, yeah, reflected in our June, yeah, which is reflected in our June,
You know, reflected in our recommendation on, oh, you don't really need June, just,
yeah. Recommendations.
Oh.
or-
oh, wait a minute, so I'm sorry, reflected in our June. You mean on, oh, should that say 09/22 findings?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Actually, recommendations, yeah, probably, instead of findings.
Good God, I can't type with a damn. One more spell.
To point out to you that when your documents get posted in Legistar, that the people in the big house do call them findings. So do you want me to ask them to change that?
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Right, I just wanted you to be aware
fine.
that that's their chosen language
That's
that
fine.
they use there, so.
It's always been
I mean-
findings and recommendations is kind
Right,
of a part
Yeah,
of the
that's fine.
findings, and we've always called it findings in the past. I just
Right.
thought
I
we
think-
changed.
right.
We've
I think
done.
the distinction is when you approve a project, it's called an opinion.
Opinion and order.
Yeah, an opinion and order, and actually the word findings is okay with legislation. I do feel there needs to be a distinction so that, you know,
Mhm.
I agree with
That's-
you that there should be a distinction.
Because findings is more than just recommendations, isn't it?
Mhm. Yes,
Over to the lawyers on that one, Diane.
I think it's just the way we've done it as findings and it can just say findings and recommendation or recommendation, but
Yeah, I think, whichever you want to use, findings or recommendations, just make it consistent. I don't think
Okay.
it really matters.
right.
So just one thing on the in conclusion statement. And just in terms of consistency with the prior findings or recommendations, we said voted 6-0 to not recommend O.
But our
So in
motion
case
is
it was
actually
011.
to recommend that 049 not be approved. So I was just copying what we stated in the meeting, but if you want to do that, that's fine by me.
We should just be consistent in both these, and I frankly, I can never remember from meeting to meeting what language we use. I should have gone back and looked at some prior ones, but I thought we just decided, and please somebody correct me if I'm mistaken, to use not recommend an ordinance. So but can anybody refresh my memory?
That's how I remember it, to not recommend to.
It sounds softer than deny. I mean, I think
Yeah.
there
Well,
was,
we don't-
I think that's when the whole discussion came up.
Yeah.
Because there was a point in time where we just would say that you voted to recommend denial, but not recommend. it be
You're just
approved
moving
is
the
nice.
word not from not be
Yeah.
Yes.
approved to not
Right.
recommend.
Right.
I think in
We're
general,
making
we
a
either,
I've always had a problem because we're making a recommendation here. What's your recommendation? Well, I recommend that we not recommend that 049 be
I-
approved. That's why I say.
It should
what I
say we recommend, it really should say we recommend that we deny recommendation of this. Or
Right,
it's
and at one
something.
point, yeah, at one point in time that it did say that, and then at some point, some prior group of people decided that it sounded very harsh to say recommend denial. And then there was a big discussion about changing it, so it didn't say recommend denial, but you are recommending denial, so.
Right.
Right, and that's why I wrote, we voted to
Mhm.
recommend it not be.
I just
approved.
I thought it was just cleaner to say we either recommend this legislation or we don't recommend this legislation.
That,
I
that is
don't know.
pretty clean.
My initial draft had deny. So
Right,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
I like clear language, but I understand the, the reasoning.
I think
behind
it's fine if
about
you
to-
go back to deny, you are recommending denial of it,
Yep.
and then planning commissions should always be capitalized.
All right, so what do you want? Voted 6-0 to not recommend 049's approval? Because
I don't care.
this is what I started out with.
Mhm.
I think the most important thing is that you make a decision about how you want to say it and then just consistently use the,
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm
Same
trying to get at here.
Right.
if you would like, I can go back and look at some old findings for maybe and see if we have any precedents. And then just do it this way.
Yeah,
and
let's
then if you
let's do
wanna-
that. And I apologize. I should have gone back and looked at
Well,
some of
we
these.
can
I
leave
didn't
it
do
this
that.
way in this one, and then if you want to, in the future, have different language, you can all think of, I'll send you some samples of ones you've done before. How's that sound? But you are making a recommendation, because I'm now in the code
Right.
looking at procedures, commission recommendation. Within 30 days after the commission has completed its review of the proposed amendment, but in no case longer than 90 days after the blah, 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 the commission shall submit its written recommendation to the city council. So the word recommendation is used in the code.
I don't mind recommend to deny, because I don't care. It's what it is. I'm not worried about being harsh.
So I like this, maybe just with the one small tweak here, not recommend approval of 04922.
That's fine.
So just move approval on the other side and take away the apostrophe S.
And then maybe
Mhm.
not.
So we either
capitalize
recommend
not.
approval or we either recommend approval or we don't recommend it. We either recommend approval or not recommend approval. And so we should change the other one to be the same.
Okay. So you've agreed on that, not recommend
Yeah.
approval of
Or-
04922?
Right.
Yes, correct.
Sounds good to me.
That's good. New standard.
I like it.
We'll all try and remember that.
Great. And if you would, Teresa, change that and yours too to be the same, that'd be great.
And I think, Alex, looking at the code about procedures for text amendments, where it does say, use the language commission recommendation, I am going to ask whoever uploads stuff to Legistar to start to change that so it says planning commission recommendation when it uploads your documents. Because then that is, I don't know why we had, maybe in the old code a zillion years ago, we used the word findings, but the language we use in this should be consistent with what's in Title 21.
Agree.
How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Once again, Ben, I'm just being a nudge, but I made just simple, what I thought were stylistic kind of editorial changes to clarify where I think you're going. And I'll send them to you. And if you approve them, maybe you'll send them to Jackie.
I've got them right here.
No,
can
I
bring
haven't
them
sent
up.
them to you yet.
I got a Robert Waldman email. What's going on?
What?
Maybe you send my recommendations to him because I just looked through all my emails, no spam, no missed.
Oh, hey, I need an administrative assistant. Anybody want to
Yeah, you did. You sent it to me.
Oh,
Not
good. 'Cause I
Teresa.
thought I was going crazy. I'm like, I don't see any emails anywhere.
I'm sorry, Teresa. Okay, But once again, you guys, I'm not changing any of the facts. I just am stylistically trying to clarify.
And
That's
that's
all.
good because you're a
Much
lawyer. I'm
appreciated.
not.
Right, right.
Keith
I know.
Senator.
And we
So-
know from recent
Ben,
experience.
don't take it personally, okay?
No, not at all. Not at all. You're an English god. Guru.
Thank you.
Guru.
All right, it'll be to you in a few minutes.
I'll
And
send you
then-
this latest one.
Okay.
How about that? Because this has Alex's changes in it.
You can put them together. You'll figure it out.
So
Yeah.
then I'm gonna get the final revised drafts from Teresa and Ben sometime soon, and then we will forward them to, so I'm working tomorrow, I'm off Monday, so if you don't get them done tomorrow, we can do it on Tuesday. Just telling you
Okay.
that.
Yep. Okay, so I think at this point, any other little edits here that anybody wants to talk about? So substance wise, everybody ready to offer a motion to accept these?
So moved.
I'll
Second.
second.
that motion.
Okay, so any further edits on the content? Or the basic content of the findings and recommendations? Okay. Not hearing any, I call for a vote. All in favor? As
Aye.
written, plus some stylistic changes that Bob's gonna offer. Please say aye.
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 Any nays? Or abstentions? Great, sounds like we are unanimous on this. All right, well, thank you, Ben, for putting those together, and thank you, Teresa, for putting the ones on 11/22 together. And next order of business is adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, all righty. Thank you, everybody. We are going to meet